Today I'm going to be addressing a question most of you have been asking in the comments. What happens to a world where death himself is dead, where the end of all things is in hell? What happens to humanity? Welcome back. This is Grim. Sit back, relax, get some food, and let me entertain you. We continue where we left off with a flashback to World War I. We saw young men put their lives on the line to protect the interest of their country, to protect their countries and families in general, and most of them were scared. Matter of fact, all of them were scared. But you see, they only have to remember one thing: just shoot. When the mark appeared on one of these soldiers' head, he decided to just shoot, only to greet death himself with a bullet to the brain. And literally, death towered over him, looking at what he has brought, surrounded by young men with the same marks on their forehead. Flip back to the present after everything that's transpired, with the end of all things being cast to hell and death dying. We see a man coming to watch a show. This show was not meant for kids. He bought his ticket and gained access. The show was already on the way, so he decided to just watch the performance of these three queens of the night. Now, the crowd was wild, and they were affirmative and bold. He wanted to grab a smoke, and one of them said, "You can't smoke here." The hell? He looked at her and said, "Of course I can." And she said, "I'm sorry. Yes, you can." Right off the bat, you could tell this man is not normal. Matter of fact, even the queens weren't normal. Come to reveal that these guys knew exactly who he was. Herald the messenger. "You should not be here." He said, "I'm here for a reason, and I know you know this." Oracles? Yup, these guys were the fates, the oracles. They see everything and they kill everyone. When it's your time, of course. Now, they knew why he was here, truthfully. Is it about the girl, or the father, or the auntie? He said, "So you know." They said, "Of course we know. We're the fates." But let us pose you a question. Who can sit on a throne and not be a king? Now, right off the bat, I knew the answer to this question, but I'll let you guys solve it. Answer at the end. Now, Jessica was having a bad day. Matter of fact, a bad week. Let's say week. Because she just met her father, discovered her truth, her true nature, and she lost him all in one day. And to top it all off, Eddie was being an asshole. "Ooh, you can't listen to music at a music festival. Come on, Jessica." Marcel in the back was disappointed. "Come on, Eddie, chill." He apologized to Jessica for Eddie. "Man, he's just trying to cope. Everybody's going through it. Are you doing okay?" She said, "I'm fine," walking away to go enjoy the show. And as the show began, they stood from on high watching. Jesus Christ, I'm thankful this is Las Vegas. Imagine if we got banished to somewhere ridiculous like, I don't know, Texas. Again, Marcel had to check him. "Chill, bro. We said we're not mentioning the banishment. Let's just have fun today, alright?" It was cool. The show was playing. The music was fun. "Right here, right now, it's just you and me and the devil." You see, rock stars know how to entertain the crowd, but Jessica wasn't entertained. I mean, honestly, it was to be expected. She lost her father, damned her two closest friends to a life locked on Earth in Las Vegas, unable to leave. It sucked, and for some odd reason, she kept coming back to this statue of the devil. Why? What the hell type of message is this? Unknown to her, her world was about to flip out because someone, a human, saw her and went on a long rant about death, how nobody should be afraid of it, they should embrace it, while lighting a fire and setting the statue ablaze. Now, what was the reason? I don't know, but I'm guessing she was on that juice, because the next thing she did was just to walk into the flame. She was human. She was not a ghost, not a reaper. She burnt to a crisp. Jessica saved her, of course, but it was already too late. Or rather, it was supposed to be too late. Because as they watched her die, she didn't die. She was still alive, with a strong pulse, the marking again on her forehead. Now, the EMTs pulled up trying to help, but then on their forehead, they had the same exact mark. It wasn't just her, it was him. Matter of fact, it was everyone in this street. All the EMTs and everyone in the concert, every human alive on this planet had the mark on their forehead. What was going on? Well, we get our answers quickly because the fates decided to cut a thread and the thread didn't cut. Oh shit. Back on Earth, we see the result of this real quick. A man that was supposed to die of old age was blessed, surrounded by his family. There was love in this room, and they put him off the machine, only for his heart to keep beating. Death had left this world. This was not a blessing. This was a curse. This was a hospital. The religious man stepped outside, confused. Was this a blessing from my God? Sadly, he got his result quickly, because men died all around him, feeling a lot of pain, but none of them could leave this world. All around them, every single person had the marking on their head, but of course they couldn't see it. They were marked for death, but yet death didn't come. One of the patients begged the holy man to please release him from this pain. Kill me. But the holy man said, no, my son. Please, pain is just fleeting. He said, pain? Look at me. Look at me. There is no God in this world. As he reveals that he was cut in half. He was dying. He should be gone. God has abandoned us, preacher. This is hell. All around them, people coming in with headshot wounds were still alive. The sounds of people screaming in pain was abundant. Most people wanted to go. One person lost half his body, his eyes, and yet he was still alive. People tried to off themselves. The nurse had to go in overdrive to stop them. What is happening? God, is this a test? Are you testing me, my father? No response. This was a quiet world. So he went to a quiet place, hoping to pray and get a voice from his father, but there was no response. He won't answer you. This is not his fault. It is mine. From the corner of the room, he saw her. It was Jessica. Why is it your fault? I'm sorry, my child. That sounds a little bit very egotistical to me. He actually started to quote scripture to her. She replied in kind. She knew the exact verse. You see, his world was different from hers. You prayed to a man who was brought back from the dead. Now you see it. Now, who is your God? You give hope when none should exist. You disgust me. And honestly, he felt it. Because honestly, a week back, a child died from an accident. A stray bullet hit him in the chest. And honestly, he wished that that child was shot today. He would still be alive. That's fucked up for a preacher to think. But still, he's a man of faith. This was his fate. It was his choice to believe in it. He looked at her. Who do you believe in? And she couldn't answer. Worst of all, she got more bad news. Outside? Well, outside was fucked up. It was becoming a literal end-of-day scenario. She went outside to check it out, only to find out it was like a zombie herd. People who have gotten into accidents, had their head caved in, were dying but couldn't die. They needed help to die. A hospital whose function was to heal people was now looked at as a place to end life. Why? Why was this happening? It was becoming rowdy. The pressure was building up and she couldn't stand it. She wanted quiet, and then quiet came. Where was she? Apparently she was summoned by the oracles themselves, because she has a destiny to fulfill. She had a world she had to save. This world. And with a simple action, she was going to save it by saving death. Now, remember the messenger from earlier? You see, he was going around spreading the word, looking for a specific gentleman called Kelly. He didn't find him, of course. He found a tiger made out of smoke called Anthony, and it was hungry. But let's switch perspectives for a minute, because in the prisons, well, it was worse than outside. Now that they knew they couldn't die, why the fuck will they stay caged up when it was fun outside? A riot broke out, and God's will, they died. I mean, they didn't really die, you get what I mean, but they were incapacitated. And one person thought to use this chaos to escape. It was Jessica's mother, and well, the guards wouldn't let her. Even with his brain oozing from his skull, he still tried to crush her with his bat. Sadly, for him, she was ready. She was with it. You see, she wasn't in prison for no soft boy shit. She was hard, and she proved it by putting him on his knees. She had someone who really needed her outside, and death, well, he sent a letter confirming that fact. Our daughter knows the truth. She's going to need her mother. I left what you would need in Mexico. And as she escaped, she stole a bike. And so she went. But back in the new afterlife, the new queen was turned. She got everything she wanted. And still, all around her, people nagged. She screamed, "Shut the fuck up." And there was silence, but not really. They wanted to know the situation. They haven't seen souls in days. They wanted to know the truth. Where is death? What is happening? Why are we in this predicament? She said, well, truthfully, death is gone. I'm picking up the slack now. Thanks to Jessica, he's gone. Everybody was confused. Jessica, she said, yes, Jessica killed death. Didn't you know that? Regardless, I will make sure hell performs as it should. He then oversteps and says, who made you in charge? She said, I have death's fucking scythe, and split homeboy in half. But this was the scythe of death. That cut was eternal. That cut turned him to dust. She looked around like, who's next? There was silence. She smiled because this is what she wanted, control. Now, to solve this issue, Jessica needs to die. Jessica needs to go to hell, and you guys will do this for me. They said, yes, ma'am. But one person didn't fall for this shit. One person had an actual brain. She knew Jessica. That would be impossible. But Jessica was facing the impossible right now. Where the fuck was she? Am I dreaming? The oracles just kept mumbling rubbish. They needed the Reaper. But the Reaper was gone. I watched him die. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me out of this place. They let her out, of course, but into their arms because she doesn't know something that is really important. You are the daughter of death. Your father and the end of all things are too important to the universe. Now both are gone. This needs correcting. She said, well, that's not my problem. They looked at her, of course it is. And I know you know. You, Jessica, are a Grim Reaper by blood. The throne is yours. So are the responsibilities. She said, I do not want to be. They said, I understand, Jessica, but this is something you would have to face. 8 entrances are leading to hell. The guardians will not respect your authority, but when you get the sight, your father's sight, they will recognize. And with that, you would bring back the end of all things so that order can be restored. This is your duty. She said, no, fuck all that. I literally just found out I am the daughter of death a few days ago. Now you're telling me I'm death himself? Fuck that. Find someone else. There has to be another person. I am not the Grim Reaper. But she was. And they understood that they were not giving her a choice. But the world needs order. And this is your duty. You are literally the only one who can do this. So make your choice. And she did. And she walked through that door and slammed it behind her. They did not like this at all, but it wasn't their place to act, just inform. If only they remembered to inform her where that door led to. Because when she opened it, she met one of her best friends in the world, Marcel, about to die at the hands of a madman with a freaking tiger behind him. I am loving this story more and more. Let's go.